can we please just have a nice, quiet week of women's football? Yes, welcome along to this week's Women's Football Chat. My name is Chris Gadsby. I'm here every Thursday at 6 p.m, bringing you the very latest from the third and fourth tiers of women's football here in England. That's the FA Women's National League. And there is really only one place to start this week, and that is with the news that on Friday the entire FAWNL Management Committee handed in their resignation to the FA, leaving the FAWNL without a committee running it on a day-to-day basis. The FA has now had to pick that up and take on the 6 first team divisions and the 4 reserve team divisions with immediate effect. Now, this is a move that was recommended in the Karen Carney report. You will remember we went through that a few weeks ago when it first came out. But the key thing with that report was that the FA were going to hand over control of the Super League and the Championship to this independent company, and then they would be able to take control of the Women's National League and build that up. So it was something that had been recommended, was sort of in the pipeline for back end of the season, couple of seasons time, whenever this move would be done. But it has now been done already, and the FA have just had 72 first teams plus a bunch of reserve teams thrown upon them for the remainder of this season. The reasons from the management committee are varied and complex, as it was in their statement, but it is a move that I have written about on the Women's Football Chat website. So if you want to get a bit more of an idea of my thoughts and views on this move, then head over to womensfootballchat.wordpress.com. But essentially, the biggest issue from my point of view is that the management committee were having to do this role voluntarily, and it's a very big role to do voluntarily, and without the being able to dedicate their whole time to it and it being in a paid position. That is where we then ended up with problems, as I've spoken about before, with social media coverage and general communication from the league to the supporters, which for me was the biggest problem. Plus videoing of draws, but I've done that a mountain of times and discussed that. But I still believe that had the management committee been paid and were able to dedicate more of their time to it, those problems wouldn't have existed. But the situation is that this is where we are now. The FA have had to take control. They had to dive in quickly with the preliminary round draw of the cup and plate competitions. They have been done with only one tie now in the plate, because a couple of teams decided after losing in their determining round that they didn't want to take part in the plate competition, so they have withdrawn. So that's meant that only one preliminary round tie in the plate has got to take place between Exeter and Abingdon. And now we've got gaps appearing all over the schedule on the whiteboard behind me. So that's another thing for the FA to look at. Do we move games in where there's teams available? I would. I've spotted what games I would put in now on the 10th. But that is the kind of biggest news, really, is the resignation of the FA Women's National League Management Committee. As I said, more information on the Women's Football Chat website, www.womensfootballchat.wordpress.com. Right, couple of other bits of news to talk about before we get into the fixtures, and we're going to start at Solihull, where they have got a change of manager. Ben Davis, let's get the statement up. Ben Davis, the first team coach, has left the club. They say he was a hard-working and dedicated member of the team and brought a fresh approach to coaching. Ben leaves with our sincerest thanks. We wish him all the best moving forward. So new coach having to come in for Solihull Moors. And then also with Leeds United, who have announced a change there as well. Rick Passmore has left Leeds. It's going to take a little bit longer to find because, of course, Leeds men and women share a Twitter account, and they have played games since then. So a new... there it is. Rick Passmore has departed Leeds United women in order to take up a coaching role with a Women's Super League side. Whilst the club is naturally disappointed to see someone of Passmore's coaching ability depart, we are proud of his progression to the top division of the game. He joined the Whites in the summer of 2022, instantly implemented strong coaching philosophy, and helped the team lift its first silverware in over a decade when they won the plate last season. He now leaves the club having overseen all of the pre-season preparations for 23-24 campaign, was in the dugout for the opening match last Sunday when they beat Stockport. Everyone connected at Leeds United would like to wish Rick every success in the future, whilst thanking him for his efforts, professionalism and hard work whilst at the club. Taking charge of the team for the FAWNL Cup fixture away at Leek Town, which was last weekend, will be Simon Wood from the Women's Academy, assisted by General Manager Julie Lewis. An announcement on a permanent appointment will follow in due course. So, two kind of coach managerial changes and one big change in the FA Women's National League. So those are kind of the big bits of news, really. Still waiting for anything official from the FAWNL account. Everyone has kind of seen it first broke on Friday night. Various news outlets, Daily Mail and what have you, have seen the email that was sent to clubs. It's circulated around. So we'll have to see what happens over the course of the next few weeks. Very busy time coming up, as you'll see when we look at the fixtures later. We've got a full programme this weekend. Then we've got midweek fixtures. Then we've got some league. Then the preliminary round of the cup. We've got then a couple of weeks after that is the first round of the cup. We're only a few weeks away from Tier 4 sides being in the FA Cup. County Cups are going to take place as well. The 15th of October is a County Cup day. So it's all going to get very busy, and something that people are going to have to keep an eye on carefully, I think, over the course of the next few weeks. I just now need to get full-time back up because my computer's decided to close Google Chrome to do an update. Thank you very much, computer, without any warning whatsoever. Full-time. Right, so let's go then through into the results from the past 7 days. These are, well, entirely, to be honest, in the Cup. The determining round of the Cup took place on Sunday. And 35 ties took place because #United against Chesham United did not. And that has resulted in #United being put into the Cup and Cheshire United are not even in the preliminary round for the plate, alongside Burnley and Chester Street Town. They are no longer part of that competition. But let's have a look then at Cup fixtures. We're going to start with AFC Bournemouth against Bridgewater United. A 2-0 victory here for Bournemouth. Alicia Buckingham in the 75th minute, her second goal in 2 games for Bournemouth, alongside Katie James as well. A 2-0 victory for Bournemouth. AFC Fylde against Chorley. Goals in this one, Catherine Hamill and Bethany Strutton for Fylde. Charlotte Tyers, the goal scorer for Chorley, and they go into the plate. AFC Wimbledon 2, Chatham Town 0. Goals in this one, late goals here for AFC Wimbledon. Sandra Martins in the 88th minute and Eleanor Dorey in the 90 plus 4th minute, with the goals for Wimbledon to put them past Chatham Town, the only side that knocked out higher tier opposition. We have 20 of the 24 tier 3 sides are in the cup competition. Those that aren't are Burnley, who got beaten by Newcastle. We'll come on to that in a bit. Billericay Town, who were beaten by Ipswich, an all tier 3 tie. Derby County, who were beaten by West Brom, another all tier 3 tie. And this one, Chatham Town, beaten by AFC Wimbledon of Division 1 South East. Swindon Town against Actonians. Swindon Town winning by 4-1 away from home. Annabelle Colston with a hat-trick there in the 1 goal scored just before half-time, the other 2 coming after it. And Holly Beck Essen in the 88th minute, also getting on the score sheet for Swindon Town. Amber Dredge there in the 5th minute of added time at the end of the first half meant that it did go into the break at 1-1. Swindon Town then just pulled away with it in the second half. Not as much, though, as Portsmouth did. 11-0 victories away at Ashford Town. So 3rd tier Portsmouth, semi-professional Portsmouth, away at 4th tier Ashford Town. 11-0 there. So a brace for Sophie Quirk, 16th and 19th minute. Another one there for Ava Robotham. 2 for Danielle Lane in the 45th and the 90th. Emma Jones just before the hour mark. Bethany Lumsden in the 66th minute. Jasmine Younger then 10 minutes after that. And then Tierney Scott, the substitutes, got in on the action. Then Tierney Scott, 83. Georgie Freeland, 84. And Emily Pittman, 86. Barnsley 2, Peterborough United 3. Goals in this one. Again, really late goals here. So half time, it's 1-1. That was thanks to Sophie Scargill giving Peterborough the lead, and then Abby Housecroft, 33rd minute, equalised for Barnsley. 1-1 at half time. In fact, it's 1-1 as you go into the 90th minute. Rosie Axton then popping up for Peterborough and giving them the lead, and said in the 90th minute. Looks as though Peterborough are going to go through with a 2-1 victory. Then Barnsley equalise. Charlotte Stewart in the 94th minute to make it 2-2. Looks as though it's going to go to extra time. Doesn't go to extra time because Rosie Axton, again, 96th minute this time. 6th minute of added time gives Peterborough the lead again. And in the 90 minutes they do it, winning by 3-2. Second page then of cup fixtures. Boldmere St Michael's winning at home to Lincoln City by 3-0. These goals are coming from the one player on their lineup that has not been put on full time. That is, not word I'm looking for here. It's not particularly helpful when that is the one player that scored all the goals is missing. So now found it by going on their Twitter. Gabby Mayer, the hat-trick hero for Boldmere St Michael, the reason that caught me out is that she's not down on full time as one of Boldmere's registered players. But yeah, so a hat-trick for her, second, 38th and 50th minute. So then we move through to Cambridge City against Southampton Women's 2-1 victory here for Cambridge City. Goals in this one coming to Hubbard and Wood, one either side of half-time. Eva Hubbard put Cambridge City in front early in the 6th minute, then Jessica Wood in the 71st minute made it 2-0. Before Brittany Gill, 5 minutes from time, got one back for Southampton Women's. Made it a fairly nervy conclusion to that game, but Cambridge City hold off and are in the Cup for the next round. Norwich City 5-0 away winners at Cambridge United. Shannon Shaw with a brace in the 9th and the 36th minute. Natasha Snelling in the 59th and the 85th minute. And Jodie Drake in the 83rd minute with the goals for Norwich City. Cardiff City, 3-1 victory over AFC Sudbury. You've got to be really specific with Cardiff with so many of these. It's Corey Williams in the 25th minute scoring the goal. You can't just put Williams on the graphic because 3 of them were on the pitch. You can't put C. Williams on the graphic because 2 of those were on the pitch. So Corey Williams, 25th minute, opening the scoring for Cardiff. Grace Harrell just before half-time made it 2-0, and Kerry Bartlett 20 minutes from time made it 3-0. AFC Sudbury did get a consolation towards the end, Eva Frazzoni with the goal there 2 minutes from time, but 3-1 the win for Cardiff. Cheltenham Town beating Maidenhead United by 3-0. A brace for Phoebe Poole in the first half. 16th and 41st minute. Also Emily Owen in the first half in the 27th minute. All of Cheltenham's scoring done in that first 45, and that got them past Maidenhead United and into the Cup. Chesham United against #United, as we've said, postponed because Chesham weren't able to play, so they have been removed from the competition. #United go into the Cup. Dramatic game at Chester Street Town. 2-2 at the end of normal time, and a 4-3 shootout win for Notts County. So goals to Chester Street Town, don't have times for these, but Laura Hockaday and Lucy Jameson with their goals. Notts County, Emily Brett in the 65th minute, just after coming on actually, got one back for Notts. Of course, we don't know when Chester Street Town's goals were either. But then Molly Crump, 93rd minute, right at the death, equalising, sending the game to extra time. Extra time, no goals in that, and Notts County win 4-3 on the penalty shootout. Nia Chambers, Sky Lake in right, Katie Potter and Elle Rosen with the goals for Notts County in the penalty shootout. All Tier 3 tie between Derby County and West Bromwich Albion. And it's West Brom that win by 4-2. Lizzie Bennett-Steele in the 16th minute. But West Brom back level after Derby had taken the lead. Amy Sims just 1 minute earlier. Then Mariam Mahmood in the 32nd minute. Francesca Orthodoxou in the 42nd minute. 3-1 at half-time to West Brom. They're looking comfortable. And then Derby get one back just before the hour mark. Yasmin Mosby made it 3-2. And then it was Hannah George, 10 minutes from time, made it 4-2 to West Brom. And just gave them a bit more of a cushion that they were then able to hold on to. Durham Sestra 2, Leafield Athletic 1. Goals in this one. Leafield Athletic had taken the lead away at Durham Sestra. Leonie Joyce just after the half-hour mark for the visitors, but they were back on level terms before half-time. Faye Dale in the 44th minute, with Alicia Clark Mainwaring getting one 11 minutes from time. That would prove to be the difference between Durham and Leafield. Plymouth Argyle, good away win at Exeter City. A hat-trick for Ellie Sara in this one. 10-minute hat-trick. 35th, 43rd, 45th minute for the Plymouth striker. So that put them 3-0 in front by half-time. Ishbel Zermund for Exeter got one back early in the second half to make it 3-1. But then Charlotte Whitmore restored that 3-goal advantage. Made it 4-1 for Plymouth. Halifax, comfortable winners at FC United of Manchester. They were 3-0 up at half-time, thanks to Isabel Dean in the 40th minute. Lucy Sowerby actually scored in the 10th minute for them, and Georgia Stevens got her first of the afternoon on 43. Then it became 3-1. FC United of Manchester's Ellie Ritchie got one back 5 minutes into the second half, before then Olivia Wilson made it 4-1 on the hour mark. Then Stevens finished off her hat-trick in the 63rd and the 89th minute. And Rugby Borough 4-0 winners away at Haywards Heath Town. With late goals here in this one. All of the goals coming with just 22 minutes to go. Lily Greenslade with the first on 68. Then Nikki Potts on 78. And then with Ebony Wiseman in the 92nd and Greenslade again in the 93rd. On to page 4 then. Huddersfield Town 5, Middlesbrough 3. Goals in this one. Early goal for Feroz Abdullah for Huddersfield just in the 3rd minute there. And then Aisha Nsango in the 28th. So that was 2-0 then to Huddersfield. Middlesbrough get one back thanks to Lauren Robson in the 42nd minute. They go in at 2-1. Then in the second half, you've got Dulcie O'Connor in the 51st to make it 3-1. Middlesbrough then get one back again to make it 3-2. Umu Donzo to make it 3-2. Then it goes to 4-2. With Brittany Sanderson scoring off the substitutes bench. Then 5-2 with Abdullah getting her second before Francesca Ward gets a consolation for Middlesbrough at the end. So 5-3 victory in that one. Ipswich Town 4, Billericay Town 2, all tier 3 tie. It's Ipswich that come out on top, 1-1 at half time. But a brace for Summer Hughes, 33rd and 71st minute. One for Natasha Thomas in the 75th and one for Sophie Peskett in the 78th. Cancelling out Lucy Jones's penalty in the 13th minute and Jay Blackie's in the second half. Keynsham Town 1, Queen's Park Rangers 2. Goals for Queen's Park Rangers in this one. Emily Hill and Ellie Seal. One for Keynsham, Vicky Vipond in the 57th minute. Battle of the London clubs. London Bees 3, London Seaward 1. Goals in this one. Taylor O'Leary getting 2 in the first half, 20th and 37th minute. And then London Bees went 3-0 in front when Janae Beaufort scored 10 minutes into the second half. That 3-goal lead only lasted a couple of minutes though. Catherine Long just 2 minutes later pulling the arrears back to just 2. But London Seaward weren't able to make any further inroads. And it's the Bees that go into the cup. Milton Keynes Dons a dismantling by 7-0 of Chelsea, who of course lost 13-0 to Bournemouth on the opening day of the season. Goals in this one. Molly Cooper, 14th minute. Catherine Beaver in the 17th. Lily Dolling in the 36th. Megan Attenborough in the 42nd. Rhiannon Rush in the 59th. Amy McLean in the 76th. And Sophia Stovold in the 78th. 7 goals from 7 different scorers for Milton Keynes Dons. Moneyfields 1, Torquay United 0. Then just 1 goal in this one really late on. Charlie Wilson-Wilton sinking Torquay Hearts in added time at the end of the second half. 90+2, the only goal of the game in that one. Newcastle United 3, Burnley 2. This was going to give us a great indicator of just kind of where Newcastle were after going fully professional and coming up into Tier 3, and Burnley gave them a very, very good game. Newcastle took the lead. Bridget Galloway 16 minutes in, and they had that lead into half-time. But then Millie Ravening in the 46th minute, so right after the half-time break, got it back to 1-1, and that's how it finished at the end of the 90. 93rd minute, Bridget Galloway, early in extra time, put Newcastle back in front before Leah Embley in the 17th minute of added time, so at 107 minutes, got Burnley back level again. Penalties seemed as though they were going to be the way to go, but Rebecca Ferguson, just 2 minutes before the end of extra time, put Newcastle back in front again, and they go through into the cup. Burnley have decided to withdraw from the plate. Stoke winning by 3-0 away at Northampton Town. Molly Holder, 10th and 44th minute. Heidi Logan in the 34th minute. So Stoke getting all their scoring done before half-time. Liverpool Feds also good away win at Norton and Stockton Ancients. Early goal for Katie Thomas in the 6th minute. Ellie Fletcher in the 12th, and then a brace for Paige Cole in the second half, 48th and 77th minute, with the goal for Liverpool Feds there. Oxford United, a 5-0 victory over Abingdon United. There is no information on full time yet about that game, which should be a fine. But a hat-trick for Barrett, 7th, 14th and 15th minutes, an 8-minute hat-trick for her. Sherwood in the 23rd and Aisha Swaby in the 90th with the goals for Oxford United. Worthing, 3-0 away winners at Portishead Town thanks to a hat-trick to Samantha Quayle, 13th, 40th and 45th minute. And Sporting Cowser beating Hull City by 3-0 as well. Maya Clark in the 20th minute, Laura Smith in the 24th minute, and Isabel Austin Short in the 4th minute of added time at the end of the game. Just a couple more pages to go through then of the determining round. Stockport County 1, Sheffield 1. Stockport County winning by 4-1 in the penalty shootout. Amy Nelson had put Sheffield in front just after the hour mark, and a late goal for Kennedy Owen sent it to extra time. No goals in extra time, and Stockport win by 4-1 in the penalty shootout. We should mention, though, a special mention for Stockport because there was an injury to their goalkeeper, and so they needed their substitute. Well, they didn't have a substitute goalkeeper, so they needed one of their midfielders to go in. Just get that coming up as well. So midfielder Rachel Unsworth went in goal after an injury to their keeper and won the shootout for them. So a big congratulations to Unsworth, to Rachel Unsworth there for helping Stockport get through and winning that penalty shootout. Stourbridge, sorry, this is the final page of the Cup. Stourbridge winning by 4-1 over York City. York City's goal coming in the 15th minute to Millie Ash. Stourbridge, no lineup yet on full time. There's a fine. But goals to Amber Lawrence in the 5th minute, Lowe in the 41st, Lawrence again in the 62nd minute there, and then Neve Deasy in the 10th minute of added time, 4-1 to Stourbridge over York City. Loughborough Lightning, good victory away at Sutton Coldfield Town. A brace for Fern Powell, 24th and 43rd minute. A brace for Lauren Purchase in the 50th and the 72nd. A brace for Georgia Hewitt, 76th and 81st. And one for Demi Edwards in the 88th. Sutton Coldfield Town, one for May Farquharson on the 37th minute, and Brittany Civil in the 69th. Wolverhampton Wanderers, big victory over Doncaster Rovers Bells, who also haven't put their lineup on full time yet. That's fine. So one for Hannah Fryer in the 18th minute, Tammy George in the 48th and the 62nd minute, Destiny Toussaint in the 60th and the 88th, Amber Hughes in the 66th, the 76th and the 93rd, so a hat-trick for her, Adam Morfitt in the 68th, and then Eloise Wilson in the 73rd and Beth Merrick in the 85th. 11-1 Wolves winning over Doncaster Rovers Bells. Leeds United, last year's plate winners, are in the Cup this year, so we will have a new name on the plate trophy. Goals for them in this one: Macy Ellis in the 34th, Abby Brown in the 39th, and Jessica Razu in the 48th and the 55th minute. Shannon Weston in the 85th minute, a consolation goal for Leek Town. And Nottingham Forest began defence of their title away at Solihull Moors, and they were comfortable 5-0 winners. Chloe Dixon in the 5th minute, Holly Manders in the 27th and the 37th minute, and Molly Green in the 82nd and the 83rd minute. So that's the Cup. We have 4 preliminary round ties to go through. In the Cup, they are Loughborough Lightning against Durham Sestra, Halifax against Sporting Cowser in the northern section, And in the southern section, it's Swindon against Wimbledon and Queen's Park Rangers against Moneyfields. Everyone else has received a bye. Those games, those preliminary round games, are being played on the 10th, which means that we will cover them on next week's show. Finally then, let's go through the games that we've got coming up this week. We have plenty of them as well because it is the first midweek kind of week of the FAWNL this season. We'll start as we always do in the north. And these are the games that are, well, these are all the games in the north actually because there's only one midweek. AFC FAWNL against Newcastle. These are all 2 p.m. apart from one at the bottom at Kellerman Park. Burnley against Wolverhampton Wanderers. Big early game for two of last season's front runners. Halifax against Stourbridge at the Claiborne Ground. Liverpool Feds against Derby County at Jericho Lane. Stoke City against Huddersfield Town at the Emirates Stadium. And a 3 o'clock kickoff between West Brom and Nottingham Forest at the Valley Stadium. On Wednesday, Wolverhampton Wanderers take on Stourbridge at New Books Head. That's a 7:45 p.m. kickoff. Southern Premier Division then on Sunday. Where I got Saturday from. Billericay Town against Rugby Borough, two teams that won on opening day. Cheltenham Town against London Bees, two teams that lost on opening day. Ipswich Town against Plymouth. Milton Keynes Dons against Chatham Town at Stadium MK. And Oxford United take on #United at Marsh Lane. Portsmouth welcome the long trip from Cardiff City at Wesley Park. All those games are 2 o'clock. Then into midweek in the Southern Premier Division. Chatham Town take on Billericay Town. That's Tuesday at 7:45. #United against Ipswich at Parkside. That's Wednesday. London Bees against Milton Keynes Dons at the Hive. That's also on Wednesday at 7:45. Then at 8 p.m. that night, Rugby Borough take on Oxford. That's an 8 p.m. kickoff at Kilsby Lane. Division 1 Midlands, Bournemouth St Michael's against Leafield Athletic. Again, all of these, unless I state them, are at 2 p.m. Loughborough Lightning against Northampton Town at the Holywell Sports Complex. Notts against Sheffield Aerial Way. That's again 2 p.m. Peterborough United against Sutton Coldfield Town at Abbey Lawn. And then 2 3 o'clock kickoffs in Division 1 Midlands. Leek Town against Lincoln City at the F-Ball Community Stadium. 3 o'clock kickoff there. As is Solihull Moors against Sporting Cowser at the Davison's Law Arena. Into midweek, Leaford Athletic against Sutton Coldfield Town, Wednesday at 7:45. Loughborough Lightning against Notts County, again also Wednesday, 7:45 for that one at the Holywell Sports Complex. Peterborough United welcome Lincoln City to Abbey Lawn, again Wednesday at 7:45. Then on Thursday... and then also Wednesday at 7:45 is Sporting Cowser against Boldmere St Michael's. There are games across the divisions on Thursday next week, but of course with this show going out on Thursday, they will be covered in the fixtures for next week's show. Division 1 North then, Chester Street Town against Barnsley at Moor Park. Chorley take on York City. Doncaster Rovers Bells take on Leeds United. Doncaster Rovers Bells, of course, top of the table after their big opening day win. FC United of Manchester against Norton and Stockton Ancients at Broadhurst Park. Hull City against Middlesbrough, two sides, one that won, one that drew on opening day at the Easy Buy Stadium. And then Durham Cester against Stockport County at the Graham Sports Centre. That is a 2:15 p.m. kickoff rather than the usual 2 p.m. Into the midweek games for Division 1 North, Chorley against FC United of Manchester. The two sides currently occupying the relegation spots, but it is actually only one game. Middlesbrough against Durham Cester, that's at the BM Bifold Green Lane. That's Wednesday, 7:45. Stockport against Barnsley at the Stockport Sports Village. And York City against Leeds United at the York Sports Athletic Stadium. Moving through then, just 2 leagues left to go through. Division 1 South East. AFC Wimbledon against Queen's Park Rangers. That one's at Plough Lane at 2 p.m. Actonians against Cambridge City. Ashford Town against AFC Sudbury. Cambridge United against Haywards Heath Town. Norwich City take on London Seaward at the Nest, and Worthing host Cheshire United at Woodside Road. All of those at 2 p.m. on Sunday. Then into midweek, 2 games on Tuesday. AFC Sudbury against Cambridge United. I'm not entirely sure why I've got... my apologies for that. I'm entirely sure why I've got the Cheshire United logo against Cambridge United's name there. My apologies for that. Cambridge City against Norwich City at the Newcroft. And then on Wednesday, AFC Wimbledon against Ashford Town at the War Memorial Sports Ground, not at Plough Lane. That's Wednesday, 7:45. Finally then, Division 1 South West, AFC Bournemouth against Bridgewater United at the Macro Community Stadium. Exeter City against Swindon Town. Maidenhead United take on Chelsea. Portishead Town against Abingdon United. Southampton Women take on Keynsham Town at Test Park Sports Ground. And Torquay United face Moneyfields at Wall Park Road, also at 2 p.m. Then we move in to Division 1 South West in the week. Bournemouth then host Southampton Women's at the Community Stadium. These are all Wednesday, 7:45. Bridgewater United against Portishead Town at Fairfax Park. Exeter City take on Torquay United, and Moneyfields take on Chelsea. So there will be plenty for us to go through on next week's women's football chat as well, with basically 2 rounds of the league season to look back on, and we will be looking ahead to the preliminary round of the Cup. It all gets very busy in this first part of the year. In the meantime then, between now and next week's show, we will have, of course, tomorrow will come out the graphic about where you can watch. So that's on the social media at Chris_Gadsby. If you're taking part in Predictor League, don't forget to get your predictions in before midday on Sunday and before 5 p.m. on the midweek games as well. So make sure you do that. You can set up email reminders. If you go into your notification settings on your account on KickTip, you can set up email reminders. I'm not sure, because I don't have them, quite how far in front of the deadline it emails you to remind you to play. But do remember to play, because as the season goes on, we'll start to see the league table start to take a bit of shape. Then, of course, Sunday we've got all of the fixtures from across the FAWNL, 3rd and 4th tiers. Monday will be the roundup, and then on Wednesday we'll have the opinion piece of the week. Not sure what that's going to be on yet, before next Thursday, women's football chat at 6 p.m. So thank you very much for watching and or listening to this week's women's football chat, and goodbye.